Mr. Roper. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
I'm Miss Penn. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you. Good to meet you.
How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing all right, Just tired,
Okay. All right, now before we start session, just want to let you know that anything you say here will stay confidential.
Okay.
Only thing that is if you say you mention that you want to hurt yourself or anyone else, I'll have to report that. But other than that, everything here is confidential.
Yes.
Feel free to just open up.
Yes.
So what's going on in your life right now, Mr. Roper?
Well, started when, I was born into a family where, there was not so much success. And I was told, maybe I should go and do something with my life. So I decided to, go to school and, just pick the first thing there was to study. And, I saw, computer science was one, and I went to computer science, and then after a while I went into computer engineering. And I said, this is a good fit for me. I want to do computer engineering.
That's very admirable for doing that.
Thank you. But the story gets worse, because I started working for AT&T, and then I was, a computer engineer for AT&T. And the pay was great. I started off making $50,000,
Wow.
and, I got a raise before the year even ended. I went up to $75,000, and I was about to reach the cap in engineering where you jump to six figures, and
Wow, that's amazing.
I mean, not to brag or anything, but the Lord definitely has provided.
Not bragging.
Yes.
Very good thing.
Well, see, it gets worse. You see, just as I was about to, cash in on, my pay raise and my promotion, my boss came to my office and told me that they were going to be making cuts.
Oh no.
Yeah. But he was just telling me, they're making cuts. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I wasn't expecting him to cut me. Cut me. We're best worker. What are you gonna do without me? And well, I thought he was just, giving me the inside scoop on what's going on in the workplace. And then I came back, and the next day there was a pink slip on my keyboard.
Wow.
And saying that I was being terminated. And I went to my boss, and he was on the phone. He couldn't see me at the moment. And the next thing you know, I was back trying to figure out what's going on. I went back to my desk because he obviously put the wrong pink slip on the wrong desk. So I was like, oh, this is not mine. So I went back to work. And I was working, this was about 9 o'clock, and I worked till about 3 that day. Still logging into my account and everything. And next thing you know, security came by. And I was thinking I was fired, but they were thinking that I was just being defiant and weren't going to leave, so they took me away, and took all my stuff, and they came back home. And it was the day of my 16th daughter's birthday.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I'm sorry, not the day. It was the day before her birthday.
Oh, so you have a daughter?
I do have a daughter.
Do you have any other children as well?
Yes, I have a 14-year-old daughter as well.
Yeah. 14, 16.
Yes.
Teenagers.
I don't understand their world. I don't understand what these new terms and terminologies. They're not even human beings.
You seem like you're very interested in their lives, though.
I am. They're my babies.
That's wonderful.
16, 14. Well, it was the day before her birthday, and she was telling me, all the things she wanted for her birthday. And mind you, we already knew kind of what she wanted, and she could tell us what she wants, but we got to do. No matter, even if I was making money, we tried to save money. You know what I'm saying? So we knew what she wanted, and we pre-bought her gifts, months in advance for her birthday. And this is her sweet 16, and her party was the next day, and the installment for the party was due on the morning of the party.
Was this a large party you were planning for her?
Yes, it was actually a very large party. A local artist will be coming, and we ordered a small limousine to come to this, party hall, and all her friends.
Extravagant Sweet 16 sounds very nice.
Yeah, I thought it would have been on MTV, but didn't quite make it there. But we weren't on that level. But we had all these gifts for her, and we were ready to shower her with the best Sweet 16 that a 16-year-old girl could ever ask for. And then I found out that, I was laid off. And, at the same time, our mortgage was due on, see, we own two houses. I own a house, and I own another house where, I rented out to people. And that house, at the moment, we were waiting for, tenants to move in. And when you're waiting, there's no money coming in, so I'm paying mortgage on, two houses. Mm-hmm. And the mortgages were, just so happened that the mortgages were due very, very closely, like on the same day. And if we didn't pay the mortgage, it was either move out or, mortgage rate increases, and with no money, we couldn't deal with that. So the options I had with my wife were to take the money from the Sweet 16 and not install a third party, cancel the party, and to take all her gifts and sell them, or return them, the ones that can be returned. And that was the plan. That was the decision we had to make.
Now, what was the feelings your wife had about this?
My wife was very supportive, but she was also very upset. How could this happen to me? What did I do wrong? At first she thought I did something wrong. And, I was feeling the support from her, but at the same time, I was feeling, that she was discouraging me. I felt stupid, like I did something wrong. I was incompetent.
No, you can finish.
And she just wanted to have what my daughter wanted. Where she wanted my daughter to be happy. When she was 16, she also didn't come from a family where, there was a lot of success and promise. And she was at her 16. She was actually molested and treated wrongly by her family. And when she was turning 16, she remembered that she didn't get a thing. In fact, everybody in her family forgot it was her birthday, so she didn't get to have a Sweet 16. So she was reliving her Sweet 16 to my daughter, and didn't get to have it. She was very, very upset.
Now, have you ever brought this up with your wife, your feelings about, her putting her dreams into your daughter? Has that bothered you, or are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that because, she legitimately needs to have this outlet, this sense of reliving her experience to help her heal. And I feel as if it is good. That's what you're asking. I feel as if it's good for her to see my daughter's Sweet 16 as if it were hers.
Now, has your daughter expressed any feelings of not liking this? Is she okay with it? Is this the way she wanted her party?
Yeah, she hasn't spoken to me since then. She hasn't really spoken to her mother. She's upset. Lately, she's been out with this boy, and she's not coming home at the times we expect her to come home. We don't even see her. We know she comes in. She'll come in at 2, 3 in the morning, but when it's time for school, and we usually leave the house around 7 for school, and she'll be out by 6, so we never see her face. So she comes, gets her food, does what she needs to do, and that's it. And she's just so upset. They're used to getting the best in the world. We provide them with things that sometimes they don't even deserve. With their ground for it now. She doesn't have the opportunity to get those things, and she's very hurt.
Before losing your job in the Sweet 16 situation, had your daughter ever behaved like that? Did you have any behavioral issues with her?
We had issues, yes, but not to this extent. Nothing that we saw was as alarming. We thought, things were a phase. She had her little boyfriend, she would miss curfew. Her curfew would be, 11:30. She would come home maybe 12:30 sometimes. She would apologize. She would, get in a little trouble for that. And we saw repeated, her repeatedly doing these things, and we didn't think much of it. We knew that, things needs to be changed, and we thought that, by giving her the Sweet 16, you could also say, this, you didn't really deserve this, but, you're a princess, we want you to change. We thought it would be, a good incentive for her to do better. But now that she didn't get it, now she totally hates me, and she's not coming home. She's not following the rules. So yeah.
Let me ask you this: how is your emotional relationship with your daughter? Do you feel as though emotionally you guys are able to communicate?
More so, when she was younger, we used to go outside and play softball and football. My daughter actually does a lot of things, We would go upstairs when she was younger and play dolls. But then, sometimes she'd even come outside and play football. She was very well-rounded. And, by the time she was 12, 12 and 13, going through puberty, she started, making friends and doing other things. I believe that's where the separation started to take place.
Now, what are your feelings towards separation?
It's horrible. I miss my daughter. I miss the daughter. And I feel as if now that I've lost my job, that, it's going to get even worse. And my younger daughter will be following and looking at my older daughter as an example. I follow on the same path, or worse. So, yeah.
Now, do you feel as though, let me ask you this. What about your family relationships do you feel are your strong points?
We're just your everyday American family. We eat together, we pray together, we have fun together. We're a pretty close family, but, I did work, quite a lot. Mother would, she came home late sometimes from work, and that didn't really, that would have been a problem when they were younger, but, we didn't think it was too bad even as they got older. They could care for themselves. They have school events, clubs after school, so it wasn't too bad, but I guess all of our lives, we're growing up, we're all getting more busy, and it's taken away from our family time.
I noticed you mentioned prayer. Are you a very spiritual family? Is spirituality something strong in your family?
It's strong. I wouldn't say it could be stronger. We attend church, weekly, but it could be stronger. I see other families who, are probably a lot more spiritual than our family, but I wouldn't say it's horrible.
Does your church have any type of resource or program you think would be beneficial to your family now?
It does not. In fact, the youth in our church, my daughter, believe it or not, even with, what's going on, she would be classified as, one of the better youth. Everybody else in the church, they don't have a care for the church. Nothing is appealing to the youth anymore. I try to tell them, they should do more things for the youth, appeal to the music they listen to, appeal to what they want to hear in church. But they're getting, bashed and ridiculed for everything they do. They feel as if they go to church, and church is not an opportunity to praise or to receive a blessing. They feel as if it's a house of chastisement, so they don't really like to go to church. So we go, but I can see that our children aren't as eager to go anymore. So not so much.
I see that you have a lot of ideas about your church and your family. You seem like a leader. Is there maybe something you'd like to start in your church?
Yeah, certainly. I'm into music. It'd be great to start, a choir, singing group, some type of band, orchestra at our church. That would be great. But, so busy, But now I don't have a job. I have time, but where am I going to find the gas to get to church? Where am I going to, find? Usually, with the paychecks I was getting, I could just give the church a donation to buy instruments for all the students and music for all the students, or if there were band members and choir members. But now I feel like all those hopes are gone.
Well, I see still you said you're interested in music. You said you're a musician. I think that's still a strength that you should be able to work with. And through your situation, I see I think you should rely a lot on your strengths and focus on those things. And I think that music and the music ministry might be a lot something you could do with your daughter. How now you said she's growing up. There's a lot of separation. I think having that will give you something to look forward to every week. Something that as a family maybe you all can participate in this this difficult time. Do you think your wife would be interested in working with that as well?
I think I think she would be interested in that as well. You know, she makes a decent paycheck. You know, not enough to put food on the table, but not enough to get fine things in life. But you know, she does work late, so I feel like she would be interested. But, you know, does she have the time? Do we have the resources and the money to do so? That's the question.
There's you said you have another child.
Yes.
How are they? How are they dealing with this situation?
She's doing fine. You know, she's turning 14. She's just now, you know, understanding, you know, the ins and outs of growing up. So things haven't been too rough for her, to be honest. You know, she's just been coping. She doesn't see the significance of it yet. You know, usually when you get laid off, you know, you still have, you know, money from left over from before. It doesn't get rough until months down the road. My brother was laid off, so you know, I understand how that's gone for him and his wife. But you know, he didn't have kids. But now later on, you know, it's gonna hit her. She's gonna understand it. But see, my 16-year-old, the party was the day after.
Yeah.
You know, and I can see, you know, literally, how that changed, the way she saw me and how she was frustrated, you know, immediately. But there was nothing, you know, that was taken away from my 14-year-old, you know, immediately after the layoff.
I know she mentioned your brother. Do you have any other extended family that's near to your family that you interact with daily?
Not really.
On the regular basis? Not really. So it's more so just your nuclear family that you...
Just, you know, the immediate family, my brother, you know, we talk every year now and then, but family's not really that connected.
I see. Is there a particular reason why that happened, or...?
Just, you know, grow up with just a mother, father wasn't around, brothers and sisters, whatever. I haven't seen them in years, you know, and my one little brother who was around, you know, that was the only one who stuck around, the one I was previously talking about. Other than that, you know, there's really nobody else. We never really had family reunions as a child. I never really know who was with my father's family. My mother's family was small, so they didn't really have family.
How about you? Do you guys have many adult friends that you guys talk to?
Friends at church, but you know, we always don't see eye to eye. But we have friends, you know. Mainly, to be honest, a lot of my friends were friends from work, my business partners, and you know, I was laid off one, but you know, with the discrepancy of security having to take me out, you know, they thought that I was trying to stay there and be defiant, and I lost a lot of friends with that, and they don't believe my story. So a lot of my friends were my colleagues at work. So that's another thing. I don't really have many friends anymore, but these typically we have.
Is friendship something you think you're looking for right now? Do you want to maybe meet some more people?
I don't know. I just think I just want to make my daughters happy. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind meeting people, but I need something now that's going to help my family put food on the table.
See, what I want to do, I think that right now, with just dealing with, the loss of your job and what's going on with your family, I think, in the long run, you want to go back to work, get your whole family speaking again. But what are some immediate, small-term goals you think you want to accomplish right now with your family?
Build a connection between my daughters, just go out and be able to make up what she lost. Just, small friends, just me. Something low budget, but, it's whatever I can find. It's really tough to do, in this economy now. But any way that I can, link back with my daughters.
Is there a particular thing that you want to say, say for our next session, you say, I've done this. What's something that's a small thing to say, I'm working towards that larger goal?
On my next section, I'd feel good if, I came back saying that, my daughter's back to her old habits.
Okay.
Breaking curfew showing up at 12:30 as opposed to 4, 5, 3 o'clock. That's a much better start than I want to get back to where we were before, because we could control that, but now it's just getting out of hand.
Okay, well.
I just want to see my daughter.
All right. Now, your relationship with your wife, how is that going currently?
Well, pretty good, but, you know, continuing to get shaky after a while. My wife, you know, used to buying her, you know, the Coach, and what do they call that? Gucci. And she loves that. And, you know, now I'm not going to be able to provide her with those things. And, you know, growing up, she didn't have those things. And now that we have the money to provide her, I can tell she's addicted to the shopping and the buying fine things. And I don't think she wants to go back to where she was.
What do you feel that, you know, attracted you to your wife, or what brought you guys together that you feel like is still there?
Well, you know, we met together on a street corner. You know, she had her friends, I had my friends, and my friends, you know, they were selling weed and, you know, doing all these type of things. And I looked at her, you know, and we were selling to her friends, and, you know, some of the guys were, you know, linking up with other girls, linking up with the other girls, and I caught her eye, and I can tell, you know, from that look that she wasn't that type of person, and she could tell by mine that I wasn't that type of person. We were just, you know, trying to play the part, you know, the inner city thug, you know, just trying to make it. And, you know, after a while, we started seeing each other, you know, after our parents were out drinking and, you know, just acting a fool, you know, we would see each other and talk, and, you know, after a while, you know, we just went off to college. We went off to community college, and next thing you know, that skyrocketed me to MIT, you know, to be a computer engineer, and, you know, she came along to Boston College and started studying accounting, and we were just best friends all the way through, so that's how that happened.
I see that, you know, you guys came together on positivity, you know, trying to better oneself, and I think that's something that's very admirable, and I think that now that, you know, you're going through the loss of the job, I think that you should still focus on what, you know, the positive thing that you have with one another. You've created a beautiful family. You have your children. You know, you established a better life. And I think that, you know, right now, you know, I know that, you know, you may not be able to provide for your wife what you were providing before, but you still have, you know, that care for her. You feel like you're still seeking to provide for your family. So I think, you know, focusing on that and just continue to do the best that you can. That's what you should do right now. Do you think that your wife would be maybe interested in coming to one of your sessions? Or is that something you think she would be interested in?
You know, she doesn't even know I come to these things, you know. She'd be interested. She's kind of hard-headed. It's kind of hard to, you know, put her to anything, you know. We went out for this financial class. Finances were great, but, you know, it doesn't hurt to, you know, see what other people think about finances, and, you know, see other people's takes on you know, how to financially provide for your family and household. And she wasn't even down for that, so I had to find those by myself. She doesn't like seeking help, but she doesn't think she needs it. So I think it would be great for her, but I don't think she would do it.
Okay. Do you think any of your children? Do you think your children might want to come?
It would be great for my 14-year-old so that she can see, you know, what a good example is. She should follow after my 16-year-olds in case things get bad. It would be great for my 16-year-old to have a session to help her stop what she's doing, you know, help her to come back to reality and be able to accept, you know, the position that our family is in right now, as far as our finances are concerned.
Okay, so maybe on our next session we can plan, you know, to bring your daughter with you, you know, so you can, you know, have another say what's going on in the family, and, you know.
Should I tell her where she's coming?
Yeah, you can tell her where she's coming. Yes, full disclosure. Tell her where she's going. Tell her what, you know, what I do and how our sessions go. She can understand what's going to happen, and I think that would help, you know, for the whole family to have some input. You know,
the 14-year-old and the 16-year-old first.
If they both want to come together, that's great. That might be, you know, that's great. If they both want to come, you know, to see, you know, how, so I can like understand, you know, how it's affecting your children, and that, you know, you can have someone, you know, an avenue to talk to your daughter, especially the 16-year-old.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I see that, you know, I've seen what you're saying, and I think that, you know, you set the goals, you know, for an session to, you know, get closer to your daughter, see if, you know, maybe, you know, see if you can get her to, you know, to, some of her previous behaviors could come back, you know, even though, you know, you're going through this. I think that's a good goal. I see that, you know, you know, don't feel so bad about yourself. I see that, you know, you've lost your job, but you're still concerned with the issues of your family. That's a very admirable thing that you're doing right now. And, you know, we'll continue to, you know, to talk about, you know, what we can do with your marriage and your family. And I think, you know, it's gonna work out.
I hope so.
All right. It's nice talking to you, Mr. Roper. All right. Next, see you next week.
Yes.